一人残らず殺す。
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Nani?
Okay, you know the deal at this point. I put a meme in the start of the video, make you laugh or smile hopefully, and in return you pay me by smashing that like button, subscribing, and making sure all notifications are on. What? You think I didn't know you haven't done it yet? Bitch, YouTube tells me everything! Alright everyone, welcome back and it's time to go balls deep. Now this elf arc is coming to a close. There are a few things we need to talk about, one of which I think needs to be addressed because Tabata might have done a mistake. Hello?
What did you say? I did a mistake? Who do you think you are?
Jeez, some people can be so rude. As I was saying, there has been a lot of information that has been revealed in the elf arc, and I'm going to try my best and explain everything in my opinion on what we all know, as well as what I think about the latest chapter, of course. Now remember from my previous videos, we as a community had the following questions. Now question number 1, 2 and 4 cannot be answered without theories that have multiple clues that I have found regarding what may be happening. I update these theories and analysis accordingly on a weekly basis. That is why it's so important that you hit the notification button so everyone is up to date and everyone is on the same page. Now of course all of us have our own opinions. Some believe in the Asta is a dwarf theory I created, while some say he is a demon or even from another world entirely, for example. So question number 5 can be answered, I think. The elf arc has explained it. So basically we were told that a grimoire disappears when the owner dies. We saw this almost happen to Fugo Leon and it happened to Julius Novachrono. Now why did it not happen to Licht 500 years ago, right? Because we just found out in this arc that Licht 100% died and it was the devil that reincarnated everyone by using the magic stone. A grimoire from a 4-leaf changes into a 5-leaf which represents the devil, thus becoming the Grimoire of Despair as the arc explained. I'm inclined to believe the rule no longer applies to these type of grimoire, because if it does, I don't know how the plot makes sense anymore and it causes contradictions. This is because we saw in this arc that Nero said she protected the Grimoire of Despair Licht created for almost 500 years as a bird, right? Now Licht died but the book was not gone, it did not disappear. However, Nero did state that she was asleep initially once she became a bird. This therefore means that the only way the anti-magic demon got into the book is during the time period Nero was asleep when she first became a bird, or was born inside of the book for some possible reason we do not know yet. Maybe the devil was there from the very start. I mean, think about it. If the anti-magic demon went into the book at a different time or was doing something that he was planning, Nero would have seen what was happening because she was protecting the book. Nero, who is now Sekri, is also clueless who this anti-magic demon is, so it kind of 100% insinuates the idea that either the anti-magic demon got born into the book that day, or he went inside the book itself when it was unguarded when Nero was asleep. Now in my opinion, I think the anti-magic demon planned to choose Asta to have no mana, as he planned, just like the word magic devil, to be manifested one day in a real body. He was destined to choose Asta. We saw in the latest chapter 212 the word magic devil died and his grimoire that he created from Pathri, it hasn't been shown if it has disappeared or not. If we find out next week that it did not disappear, then that means we now know that the rule does not apply to the 5-leaf clovers. If his grimoire does disappear with him, this means the anti-magic demon was born on the day possibly, and he was always inside the book in the first place, and he became the new owner of the Grimoire of Despair that Asta has. That is why it did not get destroyed for 500 years. Licht even says in chapter 156 that he no longer owns the grimoire and he does not want it back. The owner must be the anti-magic demon, or something really weird is going on. Now moving on to question number 3. This is the mistake that I think Tabata has done. because now that we see in this chapter that the devil has died, we still got zero explanation by the plot that tells us how the devil knew Patry was going to be reincarnated as Licht and look like him. How did he know he was going to receive a 4-leaf grimoire? Did he manipulate the situation? Because if this did not happen, then his plan would not have worked and he would not have got reincarnated. Did he use his word magic? Did he manipulate the situation? What did he do exactly? As a result of this storytelling, we as fans, we have to create a theory to fix the plot, and I don't really like that when shonen anime do this. We were told by the story that Patry did not know even himself as to why he looks like Licht and why he received a 4-leaf grimoire just like Licht. This was an intricate part to the storytelling to trick us readers as well as the characters in the plot to make the plot twist in the first place. Even in manga chapter 181, Patry admits that this is the form he was reincarnated in, and he does not know why he looks like Licht, and he just calls it destiny. This also means the concept of destiny now exists in Black Clover. If that's the case, what if Asta and Yuno have a destiny? But that's very similar to Naruto again, and I don't really want that because people always compare these two anime. We were told that the word magic devil had been planning to gain a body in the Clover Kingdom for a very long time, and he is the one that manipulated everything that we saw in the elf arc for the plot twist to occur. He was the one that was hiding within an elf body and allowed Patry to complete the stones and revive everyone, therefore allowing himself to incarnate himself into Patry, get the 5-leaf clover, and then try to escape to the other realm, right? On top of that, the devil was the reason why the elves had the curse of the wicked heart told in manga chapter 181 and multiple other times. We knew from the arc that Patry and the other elves have a wicked heart curse within them that makes their hatred worse for the people they want revenge on, and it limits their thinking or power, something along those lines. Langris is a good example for this, where he goes crazy twice due to this curse. Now that is another reason why Patry, he wanted to complete all the magic stones and complete the real Licht's revival as well as the other elves to get rid of this curse. This was apparently all according to the devil's plan. So why did Tabata not choose to explain this in the plot? As I said in my previous analysis, I always thought Black Clover was going to allow the word magic devil have a flashback or something to explain his point of view on what was happening, because that would have been epic, you know. It will allow us to understand his character a bit more, right? Because now it feels like the devil, he was just evil for the sake of being an evil guy.
Of course!
We needed to learn more information about the word magic devil, about his character, other than his motives of just being evil. We need to know, why was he evil? How did he manipulate everything? This makes your villain more likable and interesting to watch. Tabata needed to do at least one chapter or a few panels explaining the devil's plan and how he pulled it off again for it to occur 500 years later perfectly. This will make everything make perfect sense, and it will avoid confusion and us creating a theory. I mean, another thing I like to know about is, we were told that casting forbidden magic causes huge ramifications to the caster for doing so. For example, Sekri, who used the magic stones, became a bird called Nero for over 500 years. Now, what were the downsides for the devil casting the magic stones, the reincarnation magic, which caused everyone to come back 500 years later in the future? Because from what we know is that he was just in his shadow form as usual, manipulating the situation for his plan. Why didn't he get any ramifications for casting forbidden magic? Why didn't Tabata explain this? The elves got the curse of the wicked, but that's not their fault for a spell that they did not cast. Now look, I love this arc. I thought it could have been perfect. I was about to give this arc a 10 out of 10. Tabata almost pulled off the most perfect shonen arc in modern times by making everything interlinked. But I personally believe, in my opinion, I think if these questions are not addressed or explored in the future, it was a mistake, and that's why I can't give it 10 out of 10. It's more like an 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion for this arc. Let me know what you think in the comment section below on what I have explained. Do you feel the same way? I'd really like to know. Moving on, another thing we learned in this arc is that there is a god. Apparently the 10 disciples chosen by Sephira within the elf tribe worship a god and are chosen. This means there are more beings and species we have no clue about. Now this god entity means that there must be angels too, right? Since they are demons, that just makes perfect sense. We don't know anything else about this god. Maybe Tabata will not even show this being because that's something called faith, much like real life. we also learned from this arc is that there is another world. This world has its own kind of magic that the word magic demon has, and the anti-magic demon Yami and Asta. The word magic demon casted magic that devours all magic within its vicinity and will not stop even if he died, just as we saw in the latest chapter 212. The devil from the other world has been the most overpowered character we have seen so far in Black Clover. All the other characters that seem to have otherworldly powers happen to be OP as well. Especially, you know who, the guy that I like the most in the anime, my boy Yami.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Also learned that Asta is not affected by the otherworldly magic because he has no mana. However, there is also a theory that the anti-magic demon also makes it possible for Asta to survive this type of magic, because if Asta died, then the anti-magic demon would die too. He does not want this to happen because if Asta is his vessel, right, and he doesn't want him to die, it's his only chance to have a real body. Another thing that we have learned from this arc is that humans have lost knowledge and have become ignorant. When the word magic devil manifested for the first time, all elf characters identified his species immediately and knew that his magic was not from this world. On the other hand, all human characters did not identify who he was and were utterly confused, such as Asta, Yuno, Yami and Mimosa. To further prove that humans have become more ignorant due to the corruption of the monarchy system the first wizard king Lumiere was trying to fix, in the manga chapter when Lumiere met the word magic devil for the first time 500 years ago, he stated that he only heard of the devil or what his species is from reading books of history. This means that if elves immediately know who the devils are and humans don't, elves must have some sort of history with devils, which then makes us all think as a fan base that there must have been some sort of war which caused demons to be banished to that realm, right? I mean, why else would Licht's swords be called the Demon Slayer's swords as well? And this also means that dwarves and elves and humans that lived in unity, as Mimosa described, it must have been 1,000 years ago, because why is Lumiere still reading books 500 years ago to learn about other species? Now, if I'm getting a bit too balls deep and you're still confused and you cannot keep up with anything I am saying, you need to read the manga or watch my videos on a weekly basis. I mean it, you have to hit the notification button. On top of that, since Asta in the latest chapters, he has manifested his magic more than before, and Sekri has removed his limitation. The dirt and concealment of his book, being a 5-leaf clover, has also been removed in this chapter, as we saw, and is showing a lot more. We can clearly see the 5-leaf Grimoire being more visible to everyone. So everyone is now aware that Asta's book was created by a demon now, therefore making them question everything a bit more. Now in this chapter, we see everyone get together to safety and they need to escape the realm as it will be destroyed. So the first Wizard King and Licht need to explain the truth on what happened 500 years ago and progress the plot to end discrimination and, you know, creating a better future, because that's what the ideology is right now. That's what they are trying to do. On top of that, just as we all assumed, it looks like Lumiere will die as one of his eyes are missing after using so much mana. Now some people might view Asta as a weapon that could implode. He could be viewed as a weapon or someone that threatens the safety of everyone. The word magic demon almost killed everyone on his own, so what will the anti-magic demon do, right? Furthermore, we see Patry state in the chapter that there are still some things that I must take care of. So this is a redemption story, as I repeated many times. Patry will probably die now or sacrifice himself, or something needs to happen that separates this elf souls from the human souls, and then they can manifest a body just like Licht did. Something has to happen, because realistically Licht is actually 100% alive now and he could reform the tribe within the kingdom if he wanted to. So I'm really curious on what direction Tabata will go now. Also, Sekri, in my opinion, she should just straight up join the Black Bulls and follow Asta. She stated in recent chapters that she now believes in Asta and thinks he's just like Lumiere, meaning she admires him. Now in the chapter, Lumiere and Sekri witness Asta's interaction with everyone and how positive he is, so it kind of insinuates the idea of Lumiere's world being handed over to Asta. On top of that, Sekri follows the theme of the Black Bull team. They are people who have been rejected by people and also suffer from their own problems that need to be resolved, so she's a perfect fit. I personally also want Lumiere to mention why Mimosa looks like his sister Tetia, since it was foreshadowed multiple times, and I want him to mention it like, oh my god, you look just like my sister. Now speaking of which, wasn't there an Asta x Noel moment, right? Lastly, just as I wanted, just as I said, we saw the anti-magic demon in the chapter. He speaks to the word magic devil and insinuates what I stated last week. Like, I cannot believe this came true. Did I predict everything correctly? Like, what? Oh my god, my balls deep prediction magic is just so powerful! Alright, calm down, let me digress. Remember I told you guys that there must be a hierarchy system or discrimination within the demon realm, right? Don't act like you don't remember. I explained everything last week due to what the word magic devil stated in manga chapter 208. The devil says, I don't know what devil that power belongs to, but you know your place in the pecking order, bitch. Now this goes back to the evidence in the latest chapter 212. The anti-magic demon says, nice to meet you, my senior. Why would he be saying this if there wasn't a ranking system as I predicted? The word magic demon does not know who Asta demon is, and he kept repeating that throughout the arc. He's like, I don't know who you are. I don't understand anti-magic demon. I mean, what is this power? I don't know. So he gets called a loser and he dies. Now this might be a reason why the anti-magic demon said he is the closest person to Asta, but he just doesn't know it yet, because they both have the same story within the worlds that they are from, and he manipulated the situation to choose Asta as his vessel and has been helping him throughout the fights, blah 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 blah. So the anti-magic demon probably has a goal that he wants to be the best or the most recognized demon, or you know, get revenge on people within his race that did something to him. That's why they don't even know who he is, and he called the word magic demon a loser, and he's someone that he just does straight up not respect, similar to how Zora speaks to the magic knights because they killed his father. And what if the anti-magic demon is so blunt just like Zora because he went through something very similar? So that's everything I wanted to say in this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time.